Paramount Skydance is in the fight of its life to finish buying Warner Brothers, but wouldn't you know it, California and now maybe the UK are doing everything they can to get in their way. It's still going to happen. But what if we told you the celebrities that are trying to put a slowdown on all of it? Well, turns out they just might be heavily influenced and working for maybe the Walt Disney Company. What a fantastic day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming our way. It's a pleasure, as ever, to endeavor explaining entertainment with you. As we dive into today's topic, consider clicking the like button. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers, and the politics of trying to stall at every single moment their momentum in buying Warner Brothers. It was supposed to be a done deal. Paramount, Skydance, buying Warner Brothers, Discovery, and let there be no doubt, it was close. The United States agreed, said, yep, go ahead, make your way, get the deal done. Then the EU said, no problem here either. But guess what? California purposefully mucked up the situation, and now the United Kingdom is following suit. Let's take a look at this out of the Hollywood Reporter. Actors Benedict Cumberbatch, Alan Cumming, and Benedict Wong have penned an op-ed in The Guardian calling for the UK to block the Paramount-Warner Brothers merger, explaining that the deal threatens to inflict immense harm on the British public. Well, never have I heard this since the 1940s. What, immense harm on the public? You mean like thought crimes and the paddy wagon coming to get people for daring to think things they're not allowed to think inside the United Kingdom? Quote, as actors and public figures who have spent our careers in the arts in Britain, working with British crews on British stages and sets, we have a responsibility to the public who support, enjoy, and consume the art we make. The UK is being threatened by a media merger that would harm our workers, our culture, and the public. But we can stop it. Now, it's just so interesting that all three of these individuals, well, they're working on a movie coming out later this year. ThatParkPlace.com is reporting on this as well. Beneficiaries of the Disney-Fox merger have united against Paramount-Warner Brothers Discovery merger. How fascinating is this that so many of the people coming out and trying to stop this, advocating to kick it to the curb, are Disney bros. It says the campaign to block the proposed Paramount-Warner Brothers Discovery merger has gained another wave of celebrity support, but there's an irony that's difficult to ignore. Three of the loudest voices now urging governments to stop further consolidation in Hollywood are themselves major beneficiaries of one of the biggest entertainment mergers in modern history, Disney's acquisition of 21st Century Fox. Of course, it's talking about the same situation here in the article. We recommend that you go read it. But I want to remind everybody, this is not the first time. This has been going on. And we've told you, Paramount is going to get Warner Brothers. So what is this about? Well, I think I know. But here, look at this. We go back in time. Variety, April 14th. Florence Pugh, Pedro Pascal, and more join fight to block Paramount-Warner Brothers merger as open letter surpasses 2,000 Hollywood names. Mark Malkin was the writer on this one. I want to show you the names, though. If we scroll down, who were the names trying to stop this? Well, let's read what they say. The integrity, independence, and diversity of our industry would be grievously compromised. Competition is essential for a healthy economy and a healthy democracy. So is thoughtful regulation and enforcement. In other words, all of these celebrities, which includes Edward Norton, Atsuko Akatsuka, Joaquin Phoenix, Ben Stiller, Kristen Stewart, all of these celebrities are saying that this is a threat to democracy. Who's in here? Adam McKay, Alan Cumming, Alyssa Milano, Boots Riley, Bryan Cranston, Cynthia Nixon, Damon Lindelof, David Fincher, Dennis Villanueva, the artist formerly known as Paige, Glenn Close, Jane Fonda, J.J. Abrams, Jason Bateman, John Leguizamo, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Margaret Cho, Mark the Gruffalo Ruffalo, Noah Weil, Patty LuPone. The list goes on and on. Oh, Rosario Dawson and Rosie O'Donnell. It's the Disney Club now. It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Today's modern Mickey Mouse Clubhouse has been trying now for months to stop Paramount from buying Warner Brothers. Alexandra Steigrad in the New York Post still writes, Paramount CEO is confident, even though they continue to try to block them. So let's talk about what this is all about. Wiz, I think this is about politics. I think that Hollywood and the global entertainment elites deeply fear the idea of the Ellisons, who are centrists, getting a hold of Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers, CNN, Discovery, and everything else, all these franchises. They're terrified of it. They know it's going to happen, I believe. Maybe the celebrities don't understand it because they're goofballs. But the effort here now is to slow this down, to get the most money in penalties as this drags out to hurt the Ellisons as badly as they can. There's nothing in this but vitriol. And so much of it is coming from Disney celebrities attached to Marvel. Your thoughts, Wiz?
I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before it goes through. But yeah, this is an attempt to slow it down. And a lot of the people that are signed on to do the actors, the celebrities and such that are signed on to this, many of them are doing this because they're being told and not necessarily because they have a hat in the race. You know, if you look at somebody like Mark Ruffalo is very outspoken. He's informed about what's going on. He's taken a side, right? I can't quite say the same for everybody else that you named on that list. Many of them are, sure, but are all of them? No, they're just following the shepherds here. And now you have a giant roster of people that are signing on to this request, let's say. But no, it's going to come down to the courts, and it's going to come down to it's probably going to result in the Trump administration getting involved and probably pushing.
Yep.
I just don't see. I think they're afraid of losing CNN more so than they are of losing like the actual Warner Brothers properties. They don't care about that. They care about losing the news network system. They care about losing the media apparatus to the Ellisons, and that is their prerogative. That's their priority. They don't actually care about the thing that keeps them employed. It's funny because, yeah, they don't care about the thing that keeps them employed and going to work and acting and pretending for a living. They don't really care about that. Like, because in theory, if it goes to the Ellisons are going to produce more stuff. Like, they're going to be restarting franchises and reviving franchises from the dead. In theory, all of those people will have more jobs if the Ellisons get the merger here. What they care about most of all is as you said, it's a political situation where they're afraid of who is going to control the news, and is this going to give the Orange Man more control of the news? And I think it's entirely over claimed that the Ellisons are, super right-leaning MAGA Republicans. I also don't see them as centrists. I see them as opportunists. I think they are entirely business-minded opportunists that flow with wherever the wind is pushing them. That's where they go. Are they being J.K.
Rowling because they dare not agree with the orthodoxy completely? Yes. So therefore, they're completely
because they're flowing with they're going with the wave. They are being. I think that's a great assessment. Yes, they are being J.K. Rowling. They are not MAGA Republicans. They are not red hat wearing Republicans. They're business people, and business people usually lean to the left, whether we want to believe it or not. Corporate America very much leans left.
So if I'm Paramount then, and I get this deal done, should I blacklist every one of these celebrities who try to stop me?
See, that's the other part. They're business people. And because they're business people, they don't have grudges like that. Some of them do, maybe some of them do, but they are just going to say, well, we don't care. They don't take things as personally. This is something that I feel like we've learned with Trump, when we hear those little things that he says after something critical has happened. We hear about, like, the roast, for instance. I think that's a good example here. After the Donald Trump roast and how, Whitney Cummings, a comedian, was retelling her interaction with Trump and how she really laid into him and she really zinged him. And then as soon as it ends, he just goes kind of stoic and just says, that was great television. Very understanding about what's going on. And that's how business people operate. So the Ellisons here, I don't think they see this as, oh my gosh, I am personally offended. We're going to blacklist all these people. They're just going to say, get back to work, make more money. That's all it's going to be.
It's a good point with Trump because, Trump, people don't understand the transactional nature of how he operates and how business people operate. When he said in one of the elections, I guess 3 cycles ago, when he's like, little Marco he shouldn't be here. He's not even big enough to be on the stage. Might float away with the wind or whatever he did. People might think, well, they're going to hate each other forever. And it's like, oh, well, he's actually, he's in the White House now and might be, right there with J.D. Vance. Yeah. So you're exactly right. A lot of this is wordsmithing for the sake of advantage. And this is politicking with these names. Andy, I think I'm interested in your thoughts on like just the concentration of celebrities that are Disney celebs, essentially. Like they have no notoriety outside of Marvel or Star Wars. And every single one of them seemingly is jumping on this bandwagon to try to stop Paramount. And it's just, it's such a funny thing to me. It makes me wonder, like, is there an undercurrent in Disney that would love for this new giant rival, Paramount, Warner Brothers, to not be there very soon? And maybe gumming up the works is what they'd like to do.
It's typical when someone can't compete, they want to eliminate the competition. So they're not capable of making good products. So the next best thing is to take out anybody who can. They're not going to be successful because this thing is going to go through. It's a United States deal, where in the entertainment industry, where the United States goes, the rest of the world follows. England can complain all they want, but they're ineffectual. They're really irrelevant. I mean, look at the BBC. They can't even keep the BBC funded because people aren't paying their license fee because no one wants to watch the crap that they're making. It does strike me as strange with the talent protesting against this, because it would give them more opportunities, would give them more jobs that they could get. They could actually make money, and
they're fighting it hard, aren't they?
It can't be good for anyone's career when your last couple of movies flop because like the writing and the production, everything was crappy, and no one wants to see it again. That's probably one of the reasons we don't have movie stars. But I think I think Wiz is right with their fear of not having the stranglehold. I remember about 10 years ago, the left controlled all television except for Fox, the motion picture industry, the newspaper industry, except for the Wall Street Journal opinion page, and most of the cable news. And that wasn't enough for them. It's like, what did Hillary Clinton say? If they lose something, they won't be able to have total control. And that's what they fear the most, because they know that their arguments can't stand up to the scrutiny of reality. So the best way to do that is to take out your competition. I think what's going to happen is you're going to very quickly see this emerge. There'll be some growing pains, but you're going to get some quality entertainment coming out of Paramount and Warner Brothers once they get their things straightened out and clean house. And it's really going to be threatening to Disney because, well, they've proven that they really struggled to put out quality.
Boy, do they. Lauren, I've got an idea of where this is coming from and where it's going. So here's the strategy, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Right now, the United States government has approved Paramount purchasing Warner Brothers. Right now, Europe has approved Paramount purchasing Warner Brothers. The only entity out there that is trying to stop this is the state of California and the bluest states that united with the Attorney General of California. That has no chance of succeeding. No chance. The play then is, can we add the UK to the list? And right now they don't have the UK, but the English actors, the British actors are coming out in force and trying their best, because if they can get the UK, then they've got something. And they're trying to slow this down. The deal must be done by June of next year. That's the play, but I don't think there's any way they can push it that far.
No, but I don't think that their real goal is to stop this. I do think that in the UK, they now have Andy Burnham as their new prime minister. He is likely going to be, I would guess, even more on board with what Ofcom is doing there. I think they have a multi-point strategy here, one of which is to delay the final approval past the midterms so that they can continue to use CNN as much as they like in its current configuration. And it is also to try and bleed as they go further beyond the date that the deal was supposed to be concluded. To them, that is a worthy goal in itself. So they will delay it as long as they possibly can to cause the most damage to Warner Brothers, Paramount, and to continue to use CNN as their propaganda arm.
Okay. To play along with that, this is how politics works in entertainment. You tell me if I've got this. So they come up with this additional California film tax credit, supposed to go towards saving entertainment. California immediately gives $14 million of that to Disney for production that's going to happen no matter what. Hexed, right? Or Hex, whatever the movie is. It's a Pixar film. They give them $14 million for a movie that is absolutely going to get made either way. It's just thank you for carrying our very left-leaning, some might say woke message. Here's $14 million. And conversely, when the Ellison say, well, we have forthrightly and in the right way purchased Warner Brothers. We're on our way. It's a done deal. California says, oh no, let's see how many $1 million we can do as a penalty. That's what this is. This is picking the winners and losers, or at least it is giving extra cash to those who carry the water for the Tinseltown political beliefs and hurting those who have any other viewpoint. Fair?
Yep.
Paramount, will they leave then, Lauren? Do they go somewhere else?
If I were them, I would, because from my standpoint, you are a state that is actively trying to do me harm, so I am actively going to do you harm right back. It will likely hurt in the short term. I'm sure that there's going to be tax penalties for doing so, but after those are dealt with, you're not getting my tax revenue anymore. And that is something that I think a lot of people are doing outside the corporate world. You've got people that are leaving states that are taxing them too heavily. They are moving to red states that are more business and personal finance friendly, and you vote with your feet, and your wallet. That is how you affect the kind of change in a way that they can't stop.
One of the greatest things we get to do each and every day is speak out and reach out to folks who don't know how entertainment works. And frankly, we think entertainment matters so much. It's why we do what we do. And you can help us send this out to even more folks. Click that like button, share, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. And wouldn't you know it, folks, we're even on Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/WDW Pro. We've got to go, but until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.